Hello and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. This is going to be covering all the PMC spawns on all the maps. Now this video was suggested by Ken Fields on one of my videos, so thank you to you. I'm not sure I've done the best job on it because I couldn't really visualize how to get all of the spawns on a video without the video taking 20 hours. You know what I mean? Like if you have to go in every match and find a spawner. I tried to go in offline mode and then just record the spawn happening, but it just wasn't working. But without further ado, this first one is customs. As you can see, they're pretty much split between left and right sides. Now, my advice is if you spawn closer to the center, you know, for example, if you're on the right hand side and you spawn closer to the middle of the map, and if you're on the left you spawn closer to the middle of the map, try and push into the middle of the map and hold that area against the people coming from behind. Because if you push straight over, you'll be caught in between two sides. Another thing I'd like to note is that I'm going to put all these images in the comment section below so you can easily access them, just to keep them on your side screen when you're playing. And these might not be all the spawns. It's partly my recollection and partly what I could find online about spawns. These are all of the ones I could find. There is definitely some I've missed, so take this with a pinch of salt. Just because there isn't a spawn located on this map does not mean you're safe. You're never safe in Escape from Tarkov. I think probably the best spawn on this map is on the left hand side there, closest to the land bridges, because if you get across the land bridges into construction, you can pretty much hold against all the other spawns pushing onto your side of the map. But if you look on the right hand side, that one at the top is very close to dorms, so if you've ever spawned and you thought there's no way someone going to beat me to dorms, they probably spawned there, unless that was where you spawned, in which case that's kind of suspect. Now we're moving on to woods. Now woods was a pain because the map in game, you just can't get it to zoom out enough to encompass the entire area, so it cuts off a little bit of the top with the shadow effect, but it is what it is. Again, as you can see, it's pretty, you know, like customs, it's pretty clear cut what the effort is with the spawns. They all spawn around the perimeter of the map, and I think they've done this because they want to put the loot in the middle of the map and force players into the middle into a conflict, and then put the extracts on the other side. Now I think, again, if you spawn at the top of the map or the bottom of the map near the middle, you're best off pushing into the middle and holding against people coming towards you. My favourite spawn though on here definitely has to be the one up by the spines, because once you're at spines you've got an elevated position against everyone else, and I think that does give you an advantage. I would always just be careful of people playing the spawns as well. Now we're moving into Shoreline. Now Shoreline's a weird one because on the right hand side you have a lot of spawns closely packed together, but then on the left you're far more spaced out. And if you spawn at that spawn at the bottom of the map near the green tunnel extract, I forget what it calls, either rock tunnel, rock passage. It has a specific name that I'm completely mind blank on at the moment. But if you spawn there, you pretty much got, you know, Shoreline, the resort area, just to loot by yourself, because everyone else is going to get into a fight. You just have to go north, or well, north on that map, and you're in one of the loot, you know, one of the most loot dense places on Escape from Tarkov. Which, not sure that should be a spawn, but maybe that's just me. Maybe it's, you know, what's the word, misleading this map. Maybe the distance between them is a bit more than it looks on the map than it is in the actual game. But if you were beaten to the resort by someone, chances are they spawned at the bottom of the map there, and if you spawn there and someone else gets there, again, maybe it's a bit nefarious. Now this is Factory. Now this is a difficult map to comprehend, so just safe to say, where the T stain is on the left hand side, that is the offices where the safe is. So that is your orientation. You've got the back tunnel there at the top, you've got the extract at the top left. And I'm going to be honest, my favourite spawn here is probably the back bottom left at the bottom here, you know, at the very bottom of the map on the left hand side, because if you've got a key, you're already you're already at an extract and you only have to control 3 doors if someone tries to push you. Whereas on the top right hand side where you spawn next to an extract, you've got that corridor, you've got the left side, you've got underneath. It just becomes a nightmare to hold that top right hand corner. Factory is by worst the map that most people play for pushing the spawns. If you spawn on Factory, it's imperative to know which spawns are where, because people will come rushing for your spawn to check see if anyone's there. It's just how Factory's played. Now this is like the actual in-game Interchange map with a bit of modification. It's not that good actually. I think they should really redo that and have an Interchange exterior and an Interchange interior map. Just my personal opinion. But as you can see, again, simple spawns around the perimeter, not much. You know, they don't tend to spawn people right next to the actual mall itself. And that creates this kind of dynamic where everyone's rushing into the mall. And if you've got a sniper and you get into a building, you can really keep people from getting into the mall, you know, when they're vulnerable, crossing the fields. I think, yeah, in the circle on the top right hand side, anyone that spawns near there can get into a tower that overlooks pretty much both extracts and spawn points, so it's worth keeping an eye out from that. If you spawn on the outskirts and you're trying to get into Interchange, either do it fast or wait until the guy in that tower stops trying to shoot people. At least that's my experience. And now we're on to Reserve, which is the newest map, and you know, knowing my luck, they're going to release Streets of Tarkov as soon as I put this video out. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And I couldn't see any spawn guides for this map, so I had to go and make my own from memory. I think there's a spawn up by Dome, but I'm not sure, so I didn't put one on just in case I'm wrong about that. But again, it's very much around the perimeter. The only one that's inset a bit is the one where you spawn in that workshop at the back of where the two garage buildings are. I think the best spawn on this map, personally for me, would be the one in this bottom right hand corner next to the marked room. Because if you are spawning that one and you have the marked key, you can just get in there and get this, you know, the marked loot and head into the rest of the map. Whereas every other spawn has someone overlooking their spawn. The left hand side of the map to me is a complete, you know, shit show, because the amount of people that spawn in and are immediately looking at your spawn or towards your spawn. If you get a late spawn, you just, you know, kiss your loot goodbye. I think that definitely shows, you know, I think I've done this in pretty much release order, except from Factory, which should have been further on the list. But when you look at the loot spawns, as Escape from Tarkov has developed, the new maps that came out, you definitely see a clear progression of spawns. They want people to spawn on the outside of the map and transition towards the middle of the map for the loot densest areas. So just keep that in mind. The two things that people are going to do when you spawn in is either A, rush your spawn because they know where you spawn, or B, rush towards the closest loot hotspot. Those are the two things I would keep in mind when you just spawn in a game and you don't really know what to do, where to go if you don't have a clear plan in mind. I would first get yourself some cover and then make sure that you know where you're going to be charged from. You know, if you're in the top right hand corner of this map on the open mounds, I think it's called East Open, you're probably going to be charged from the left hand side. Right hand side at the bottom there where the back train building is, there's no reason for him to charge up because there's no loot there. He's going to go down to marked room. That's just the type of decision making I would think of when you're trying to, you know, calculate what type of spawn you've gotten in this game, because some spawns are good, others are complete trash. And that's going to be it for this video. It's not really an in-depth look, it's just a reference guide so that new players can come along and see where they really need to be cautious about on certain maps. And again, thank you to Ken Leeds for the, at least I think it's Ken Fields, not Ken Leeds, sorry. But thank you to you, and if you've got any other suggestions on videos you want making, just give me a shout in the comments below. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.